Let me tell you something, my friends. Your mind is the foundation of your life. Everything you are, everything you have, and everything you will become starts right here in your mindset. See, success isn't an accident. Strength isn't handed out. It's built. And the strongest people you know, the most successful, the most unshakable, they weren't born that way. They trained their minds. They developed a way of thinking that carried them through storms, through setbacks, through challenges. Because let's be honest, life is going to test you. It's not a question of if but when. And the question isn't whether difficulties will come. The real question is, will you be ready? Will you have the kind of mind that bends but doesn't break? The kind of mind that sees obstacles and says, that's just a puzzle waiting to be solved. The kind of mind that refuses to let circumstances define its future. See, I've learned something over the years. Life doesn't get easier, but you can get stronger. Life doesn't always go according to plan, but you can learn to adapt. Life doesn't always hand you the perfect conditions, but that's not what determines success anyway. It's not the conditions, it's the decisions. The decisions you make about how you think, how you act, and how you respond to life, that's what shapes your destiny. Now, some people never realize this. They go through life reacting. When the economy is good, they feel good. When the economy is bad, they feel bad. When people praise them, they feel confident. When people criticize them, they doubt themselves. They are controlled by the world around them instead of mastering the world inside them. But listen to me. A strong mindset means you are in control, not the world around you. It means you decide how you feel, not your circumstances. It means you decide how you respond, not what happens to you. It means you decide where you're going, not what's in your way. That's what mental strength is. It's the ability to stay steady in the storm, to stay committed in the struggle, and to keep moving forward when most people would quit. And you know what? Developing a strong mindset is not complicated. It's not reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's not something only a few people can have. No, it's built step by step, thought by thought, habit by habit. And when you build it, you change your life. Because let me tell you, success begins in the mind before it shows up in life. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every victory, it all started with a decision. A decision to think differently, to believe differently, and to act differently. Now, let me ask you, what's the alternative? A weak mindset? A mind that collapses under pressure? A mind that gives up when it gets hard? No, that's not the way to live. That's not the way to reach your potential. That's not the way to build a life of success, joy, and fulfillment. The good news is, you can start right now. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need anyone's permission. All you need is a commitment to take control of your thoughts, to develop discipline, to protect your mind from negativity, to stand strong when life gets tough. Because once you do, you'll discover something incredible. Nothing in life is more powerful than a trained, determined, unstoppable mind. So, are you ready? Are you ready to develop a mindset so strong that nothing can shake you? A mindset that sees opportunities where others see problems? A mindset that makes you a leader, not a follower? If so, then let's get to work, because the journey to a strong mind begins today. And I promise you, once you take this path, you'll never want to turn back. Now, let's talk about the steps to make it happen. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. It doesn't matter whether it's flowers or weeds, positivity or negativity, discipline or laziness. Whatever goes into the soil of your mind will take root and show itself in your life. Now, some people understand this, and they carefully choose the seeds they plant. They fill their minds with wisdom, knowledge, and empowering thoughts. They seek out good ideas, read good books, listen to people who inspire them. And over time, their garden flourishes. Their mindset becomes strong, their perspective becomes sharp, and they develop the kind of thinking that leads to success. But then, there are others who don't pay attention to what's growing in their minds. They let anything in: fear, doubt, negativity, distractions, meaningless entertainment. They allow other people's opinions to take root. They entertain self-limiting beliefs, and they fail to protect their most valuable asset, their mindset. And before they know it, they're struggling not because they lack potential, but because they never cultivated the right thoughts. Now, the truth is, the mind doesn't stay empty. It's always growing something. If you don't plant the right seeds, the weeds will take over. If you don't fill your mind with good, empowering thoughts, the negative ones will creep in. And you know how weeds grow? They don't need permission. You don't have to water them. You don't have to take care of them. They show up automatically. Negativity works the same way. If you're not intentional about guarding your mind, doubts will find their way in, worries will multiply, fear will take over, and once that happens, your potential begins to shrink. You start second-guessing yourself, you hesitate on opportunities, and you convince yourself that you're not capable of achieving more. That's what happens when the wrong seeds are allowed to grow. But the good news is, you can change it. You can take control. You can decide right now what you will allow to grow in your mind. It starts with awareness. What are you feeding your mind every day? Are you spending time learning, growing, and exposing yourself to ideas that elevate you? Or are you filling your mind with distractions, negativity, and things that don't serve your future? See, every book you read, every conversation you have, every piece of information you consume, it's either feeding your strength or your weakness. And the choice is yours. Now let's talk about influence, because who you listen to matters. Some people allow anyone to speak into their lives. They take advice from people who have never built anything. They accept opinions from people who have no vision, and they let the world decide what they should believe about themselves. But if you want a strong mindset, you have to be selective. You have to filter what you allow into your mind. Because if you listen to the wrong voices, you'll adopt the wrong thoughts. And wrong thoughts lead to wrong actions. So here's the key. Be intentional. Feed your mind with wisdom. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to ideas that inspire action. And most importantly, speak to yourself with power. Because the words you tell yourself every day shape the way you see the world. If you tell yourself you're capable, you'll act like it. If you tell yourself you're a winner, you'll find ways to win. But if you tell yourself you're not good enough, you'll start believing it. Your mindset is your responsibility. No one else can protect it for you. No one else can decide what you plant in it. But if you take care of it, if you cultivate it with discipline and intention, it will become your greatest asset. A strong mind is built by choice, by habit, and by daily effort. And once you make that commitment, your entire life begins to change. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the difference between wanting something and actually making it happen. See, a lot of people have dreams. They have plans, ambitions, and desires. They talk about what they want to achieve, where they want to go, the success they hope to have. But hope is not a strategy. Wanting something doesn't make it real. Consistent discipline does. Because the truth is, without discipline, even the best intentions go nowhere. The most talented people in the world won't succeed if they lack discipline. The smartest person in the room will accomplish nothing if they don't take consistent action. The problem is, most people rely on motivation. They wait until they feel like doing something. But let me tell you something. Some days, you'll feel inspired. You'll be ready to take on the world and everything will seem possible. But what happens on the days when you don't feel like it? What happens when you wake up tired, discouraged, or unmotivated? That's where discipline comes in. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It means sticking to the plan even when the excitement wears off. It means showing up, putting in the work, and staying committed no matter how you feel. Because the truth is, feelings change. Some days you'll feel powerful and other days you'll feel weak. But if your actions are controlled by your emotions, you'll never build anything lasting. You can't build a strong mindset if you only work hard when you're in the mood. You can't build a successful career if you only give your best effort when you feel inspired. Every great achievement every strong individual, every person who has accomplished something significant has mastered discipline. They don't negotiate with their emotions. They don't let their moods dictate their actions. They decide what needs to be done, and then they do it. Every single day. Discipline is what separates the ones who dream from the ones who achieve. You see, the process of success is simple. It's about making small, consistent decisions that move you forward. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. Studying when you'd rather watch TV. Saving money when you'd rather spend it. Exercising when you'd rather stay on the couch. These are the little things that over time create massive results. But here's the challenge. Discipline is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice. It forces you to step outside of your comfort zone, to push yourself beyond what's easy. And that's why so many people struggle with it. They want success, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with discipline. They want the rewards, but they don't want to pay the price. But let me tell you, there is no success without discipline. There is no greatness without consistent effort. And once you accept that, once you commit to discipline as a way of life, everything changes. Because discipline gives you freedom. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want. But real freedom comes from discipline. When you develop financial discipline, you gain the freedom to live life on your terms. When you develop the discipline of learning, you gain the freedom to think for yourself. When you develop the discipline of taking care of your body, you gain the freedom of good health. Every kind of success, every kind of freedom is built on the foundation of discipline. So the question is, will you build that bridge? Will you choose discipline over excuses, commitment over convenience? Because at the end of the day, discipline is a choice. It's not something you're born with, it's something you develop. And once you make the decision to live with discipline, nothing can stop you. The bridge to your success is waiting to be built. The only question is, are you willing to do the work? Your associations shape your mindset. The people you spend the most time with influence the way you think, the way you see yourself, and ultimately, the life you create. It happens subtly, quietly, and often without you even realizing it. Their attitudes, their habits, their standards, they rub off on you. Spend enough time around lazy people, and soon your work ethic starts to slip. Spend enough time around negative people, and suddenly you find yourself complaining more than usual. Spend enough time with people who lack vision, and your own dreams start to shrink. That's the power of association. It's not just about who you talk to, it's about who is shaping your thoughts, your expectations, and your level of belief. Most people never stop to evaluate their associations. They assume friendships and relationships just happen, that whoever's around them is there by coincidence. But nothing affects your mindset more than the people you allow into your life. They can either strengthen your thinking or weaken it. They can push you forward or pull you backward. They can inspire you to become more or convince you to settle for less. And the truth is, you are not just influenced by people's words. You are influenced by their energy, their actions, their habits. You start to mirror their behaviors, sometimes without even realizing it. That's why you must be intentional about who you surround yourself with. If you want to develop a strong mindset, you need to be around people who think big, who take action, who push themselves beyond their limits. You need to be around people who challenge you, who hold you accountable, who inspire you to grow. Now, this doesn't mean you cut everyone out of your life. It doesn't mean you stop talking to old friends or avoid family members, but it does mean you become conscious of how people are influencing your mindset. You become aware of the conversations you are having, the ideas you are absorbing, the standards you are accepting. Because the truth is, if you spend time with 5 disciplined people, you'll become the 6th. If you spend time with 5 focused, motivated people, you'll become the 6th. But if you spend time with 5 people who procrastinate, complain, and make excuses, you'll become the 6th. The challenge for most people is that change is uncomfortable. When you start raising your standards, when you start thinking differently, not everyone will support it. Some people will feel threatened. They'll say, "You've changed," as if it's a bad thing. They'll try to pull you back to who you used to be because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. But you have to be strong enough to keep moving forward, because if you lower your standards to make other people comfortable, you're sacrificing your potential, and no one can afford to do that. Success leaves clues. If you want to develop a strong mindset, find people who have already done it. Learn from them. Study their habits. Observe how they think, how they make decisions, how they handle challenges. And if you don't have those people around you yet, seek them out. Read their books, listen to their ideas, absorb their wisdom. You can surround yourself with powerful minds even if you've never met them in person. Because at the end of the day, your environment will shape your future. You can either design it with intention or let it shape you by default. So take a good look at your circle. Who are you listening to? Who are you learning from? Who are you becoming because of the people around you? Because the answer to those questions will tell you exactly where you're headed. If you don't like the direction, it's time to make a change. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. Because your mindset is too important to leave to chance. Life is full of seasons. There are seasons of growth, where everything seems to be falling into place, where opportunities come easily, and where success feels natural. But then there are seasons of winter, seasons of struggle, of hardship, of setbacks. And here's the truth. Everyone experiences winters. No one is exempt. No matter how strong you are, no matter how talented or disciplined, no matter how much you've planned, winter will come. The question isn't whether you'll face tough times. The question is how you will respond. A strong mindset understands that winters are not meant to break you. They're meant to build you. Some people go through winters and crumble. They let the cold winds of adversity freeze them in place. They give up on their goals. They retreat into fear. They allow setbacks to define them. But then there are those who face the same hardships, the same difficulties, and instead of breaking down, they break through. They don't see adversity as punishment. They see it as preparation. They understand that winter is not permanent, and they use the season to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. That's the difference between a weak mindset and a strong one. A weak mindset expects life to be easy, and when it isn't, they look for someone to blame. A strong mindset knows that challenges are inevitable, but defeat is optional. Now, it's easy to talk about staying strong when life is good, but the real test of your mindset happens when things don't go your way. When you lose the job, when the business fails, when someone you trusted lets you down, when life throws unexpected problems at you. In those moments, you have two choices. You can allow the difficulty to control you, or you can control how you respond. Because the truth is, you don't get to choose what happens, but you do get to choose your attitude, your perspective, and your actions. A strong mindset refuses to be a victim. It refuses to see problems as personal attacks. It refuses to let one setback turn into a lifetime of regret. Instead, it asks, what can I learn from this? It looks for lessons, for wisdom, for ways to adapt. It understands that winters are temporary, that no tough season lasts forever. And while some people wait for life to get easier, a strong mindset gets tougher. It decides that no matter how difficult things get, quitting is not an option, complaining is not an option, blaming is not an option. The only option is to keep moving forward, to keep getting better, to keep finding solutions. And here's the beauty of it. When you learn to handle life's winters with strength, you stop fearing them. You stop living in constant worry about what could go wrong. You stop hesitating, waiting for the perfect moment, afraid that if something bad happens, you won't be able to handle it. Instead, you develop the confidence to face whatever comes your way. You build the kind of mindset that says, no matter what happens, I will find a way. And that's when life begins to change. That's when you stop feeling powerless and start feeling in control. Because while you can't always control the circumstances, you can always control your response. So when winter comes, and it will, don't let it freeze you. Don't let it make you weak. Instead, let it make you stronger. Let it teach you. Let it sharpen you. Let it prepare you for the next season of growth. Because after every winter, there is always a spring. And the people who make it through, who refuse to quit, who stay strong even when things are difficult, they are the ones who rise higher than they ever thought possible. Your mind is powerful, more powerful than you realize. Every thought you entertain, Every belief you accept, every word you speak, it all shapes your reality. Most people don't understand this. They go through life reacting to their circumstances, thinking their thoughts are just a reflection of what's happening around them. But the truth is, it's the other way around. Your circumstances are often a reflection of your thoughts. Your beliefs determine your actions determine your results, and your results reinforce your beliefs. It's a cycle, and it all starts in the mind. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. Now here's the challenge. Most people don't question their thoughts. They assume that what they think is true simply because they've been thinking it for a long time. And they carry beliefs that were given to them by their parents, by society, by past experiences. And they never stop to ask, is this actually true? They tell themselves, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I'll never succeed, I don't have what it takes. And the problem isn't just that they think these thoughts, the problem is that they believe them. And when you believe something, your mind finds ways to make it real. If you believe you're not capable, you won't take action. If you believe success isn't for you, you won't pursue opportunities. If you believe nothing ever works out for you, you'll find evidence to support that belief. The mind is powerful, and whatever you feed it, it will accept as truth. But here's the good news. You can reprogram your mind. Just like a computer, just like a muscle, your mind can be trained. You don't have to accept every thought that enters your head. You don't have to live by the beliefs that were handed to you. You can choose new thoughts, stronger thoughts, thoughts that empower you instead of limiting you. And once you do that, your life begins to change, because when your beliefs change, your actions change. And when your actions change, your results change. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. You've spent years thinking a certain way, and it takes time to undo old patterns. But the first step is awareness. You must become conscious of the thoughts you entertain every day. You must catch yourself when negativity creeps in, when self-doubt tries to take over, when fear tries to control your decisions. And in those moments, you have to challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me grow, or is it holding me back? Because the truth is, not every thought deserves your attention. Not every belief deserves to stay. The second step is replacing the old thoughts with new ones. When your mind tells you I can't, replace it with I will find a way. When your mind tells you I'm not good enough, replace it with I am capable and I am improving every day. When your mind tells you I always fail, replace it with every failure is a lesson that makes me stronger. You have to speak to yourself with the same encouragement you would give to a close friend, because whether you realize it or not, your mind is always listening. The final step is consistency. You don't just think positive once and expect your life to change. You don't just believe in yourself for one day and expect success to appear. No, this is a daily practice. You must train your mind every single day. And the more you do it, the stronger your mindset becomes. Over time, the doubts get quieter, the fears lose their power, and you start moving through life with confidence, with purpose, with an unshakable belief in yourself. And once you reach that level, nothing can stop you. Because when your mind is strong, you become unstoppable. At the end of the day, everything comes down to the choices you make. A strong mindset isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, something you develop through daily decisions, daily discipline, and daily effort. It's not about waiting for the perfect circumstances or hoping life gets easier. It's about taking control of what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your attitude. Because the truth is, life will test you. It will challenge you. It will throw obstacles in your path. And it will push you to your limits. But those who develop a strong mindset don't break under pressure. They rise. You now have the steps. You know that what you feed your mind matters, that discipline is the foundation of success, that your associations will shape your future, that adversity is a test of character, and that mastering your thoughts is the key to mastering your life. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Because knowledge alone won't change anything. What changes your life is action. What makes the difference is consistency. The decision you make today, the habits you commit to, the mindset you strengthen, these are the things that will determine where you end up. So make the decision. Decide that you will no longer be controlled by fear, doubt, or limitation. Decide that you will take ownership of your life, that you will build a mindset so strong that nothing can shake it. Decide that no matter what comes your way, you will face it with courage, with resilience, with determination. Because once you make that commitment, once you train your mind to be stronger than your circumstances, you become unstoppable. And when you become unstoppable, success is no longer a matter of if, it's only a matter of when.